as it played out, or learned of it sometime after the fact, who were able to listen to me and reassure me that I wasn't crazy, as much as I was being led to believe by some. I don't believe that I would have made it to today without them. There were times where I definitely felt tempted to just throw in the towel, but nowadays, I'm going to be okay.
So believe me, I don't want to become the Southpaw SK historian, but they roped me into this controversy by attacking me, so I'm a part of this whether I like it or not. So it is what it is. But let me be fair. Essentially, we'll be using 3 pieces of media. So Southpaw put out his own video, devastatingly showing the evils of the E-FAP. That's one thing. SK and Southpaw put out another video explaining why Southpaw removed himself from E-FAP. And from what I understand, SK did a lot of the work on that video. For free, as far as I know. And then we had this anti-Southpaw video responding to his E-FAP video. And honestly, it didn't really show that much, but it did have a few devastating bits. And the dilemma is, in the last couple of weeks, Southpaw has been doing things that have undermined his credibility. And there's no nice way of putting it. He apparently confessed to wanting to send E-FAP an SK video and deliberately have them make fun of him and make money from it. So yeah, so even though SK helped him when apparently he almost, quote, committed the S word, he backstabbed him. So we're going to hear him debating actual fandom, and I think this makes SK look bad. So I think with Southpaw and their debate, SK was right, but we're going to see the dark side of the SK.
Let me know if at any
These
point
are
you
just
want
moods
to
people
pause.
have. I do think that gender and sex are inextricably linked. I do think that both of the genders, while there are 2, there is in a vast spectrum, but I don't really care about it all that much, honestly. If you want to be whatever, that's fine with me. If you want to be whatever gender you want, that is totally fine with me. You do your thing. You go out there and be the best, whatever you want to be. That is totally okay with me. Just don't tell me that I have to call you certain things or I have to label you as something or something.
Okay.
The top comment
can we stop? Can we stop there? Can we stop there?
Mm-hmm.
I want to just say exactly what he said, but replace a few words. You can be whoever you are, whatever skin color, whatever nationality, whatever. Just don't tell me I have to not call you certain things like Negro or stuff like that. Just don't tell me I have to respect, like let you sit at the same lunch table as.
Well, again, let me say for the record, I don't like Rags. I'm a person of color. I do think Rags is a racist. I do think Rags is toxic. I think Rags is a liar and a hypocrite. However, I don't like what they're doing. Just analyze what he said. And you're like, well, let's change a few words. Let's not change a few words. When you debated Southpaw, you were going with what he said or what he wrote. I agree. Let's go with that. Let's not go with, I'm going to put words in people's mouth or make stuff up. No. Don't do that. So that's just bad. This is not a good debate. Oh, and then it got a lot worse and even got very personal, which at the end, I think Southpaw may be justified. But
people of other skin colors, or the same water fountain, whatever. That's what you sound like.
Mm-hmm.
Swallow a bullet. Not that misgendering trans people should 100% be considered inciting hatred against them on the basis of their gender. The only purpose in misgendering trans people is that it hurts them and incites hatred against them.
Riley, a lot of people are going to look at you and say, hey, it's a guy because you look like a guy. You have the body of a guy. You have the voice of a guy. The DNA in every single cell of your body is male. You can call yourself whatever you want, I don't care. But once you start telling other people that they have to call you certain things, that is obviously where they draw the line.
Okay, pause again.
I just gotta say one asshole. One.
Right?
What a fucking prick.
So from now on, I'm just going to... Rags is just going to be called shitmouth to me. And nothing... is ever going to change.
It's just like
just find out what his real name is. Find out what his real name is, and then just refer to him as his real name and never call him Rags.
What do you mean, Lawrence?
Like, obviously, we're allowed.
Oh,
we're obviously allowed.
Tanner Angel.
it may shock people, but I agree with Rags. Now, let me be clear. I don't think Rags really believes this. So he's saying, you go your way, I go my way. I'm a libertarian. Is he really? No. No. In real life, we've seen over and over again, he doesn't hold the standard. However, the position is fine. If people want a certain label, black people will say, call me African American. but other black people will be, black is fine. I'm Hispanic. Some people say Hispanic, some people say Spanish, some people say Latino, some people say Latinx. The Spanish one still gets me. That's really stupid. But yeah, I could get technical and say, I am not Spanish, I'm Hispanics, and da 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 da. So we're always going to be debating the right term. So I think that's an open question. That's me. I'm open-minded about these things. If some people get really upset, I don't care. I think being obsessed you get the precise label is really stupid. As long as it's generically fine. If certain things are not fine for you linguistically, well, I don't care. I don't think that's the biggest issue in the world. But then they got into possibly doxing Rags and using his real name. I think that's a very open question. Would Rags really be okay with people using his real name all the time? Probably not. So he seems to act like a libertarian, but he's not really libertarian. But I don't know. I don't think that's ever been tested. Has anyone ever actually used his real name, consistently on EFAP? I don't know for sure, but I don't think he would like it. So, yeah, he's a hypocrite. But I do think with personal information, it is a little tricky. I mean, Rags is a monster. And everyone knows his name, by the way. It's very public information. It's not private, really. We all know. But I think that's a big question mark. So to sum up, this anti-Southpaw video was not that impressive. However, given more recent information and the recent conflict between SK and Southpaw, this does recontextualize his statements. It does seem like he's not being entirely honest, and he's attacking the EFAP methods, but it doesn't seem he's against what they're really doing. He's like, yeah, take people down, destroy them, insult them, blah, blah, blah. He's only against the kind of extremity they do, but not the essence of what they do, because he's doing it himself. In fact, apparently he thought it was okay for them to cover an SK video, even though he's a black man, and he knows the EFAP would probably attack him as a black man, and that's pretty horrible. They all look terrible, but the good news is I look great. I've been totally vindicated, consistently criticizing all these people, and there we are.
I need to work to be able to comment on this.
Where do you guys want to go next? I have a super cut of the worst of EFAP, or we can go straight into talking about the video. Where would you guys like to go?
That, and I was like, oh,
them about this incident.
Yeah.
But I don't. Or maybe just a select few, but I don't know. I think both sides have valid points. I'm not sure where
Your
I
mic's
stand
not
on this
working, Bleebo.
anymore.
It isn't?
Now it is.
Hello?
Now it is.
Does? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Upon everything that happened that SK outlined in his video that we'll talk about later, it forced me to look back on a lot of things that happened. And this is an experience that you might have with friends who you have like a fondness for, but then something happens and it kind of forces you to reevaluate certain things, and you start noticing things that were kind of staring you in the face the whole time that you kind of just glossed over because they were your friend.
There are hints of it.
Yeah.
We didn't come in here with the intent of stirring up an actual argument.
Well, you did.
You
started out by just responding,
honestly.
"Oh, you're just coping. You're just coping."
No,
How am I fucking supposed to read into that? No, that is what you did. That is what you did. That is what I'm saying you did.
No, I'm sorry. The way they came in here sounded like they were
all
like
completely smug, condescending about it. It was fucking obnoxious.
About it.
SK, you can roll it back to when we first jumped back into the call. You're the one who first said anything about coping.
That's kind of what happened here, where like it was and in some cases it could even be a matter of I turned a blind eye to genuinely shady behavior. You two guys are not very well liked in that community, but because SK and I aren't well liked in that community, but because SK and I aren't well liked in that community either, and we understand that the reasons why are pretty crappy, we then look at this and it's like, I kind of want to talk to these two now and actually get their perspective, because these are not reputable sources, the community that is, on why these are bad people. And like my first impression of Organized Chaos wasn't great. It was the Doctor Strange 2 response. And I think there's a lot of problems with that response stream. At the same time, it's like, well, I don't think that this is a person who's incapable of having a good faith discussion. Well, the word incapable, of course, might come up later.
You are.
I'm reading what's in the chat. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, what he said verbatim is
I said it in the chat.
Yes, that is what happened. Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, okay.
But then, but Sheev's talking about when he jumps into the call.
So what? I'm responding to you when I talked about the coping.
Yeah.
Okay, but Sheev's also trying to make points too.
I don't care. You are who I was talking about.
No.
Oh
okay,
my God.
I have to disagree with you on that because it sounded like he was being a little jokingly exaggerating about it.
I don't care.
Sort of way.
I'm saying make an argument. And you were just like,
I
I heard the defenses you were making. That's how you fucking jumped in.
That sounded like an exaggerated smug to me.
Hey, God,
genuinely.
this guy has a friend who can get him away with these crimes. Stupid. That's what you sound like.
I have a group of friends I enjoy socializing with and talking about the usual stuff involving movies and TV shows. I'm gaining recognition at my job and will likely be going into management by the end of this year. And in a few months, I'll be getting a new dog, a corgi to be specific, and I'm preparing to shift my focus onto writing a series of books that I've been developing for many years. For all intents and purposes, I've landed on my feet. I don't know what all the future has in store for me, except that every day will have a new sunrise to gaze upon. Sometimes, that's all I really need.